is that men are physical. And when their needs aren't being met physically, they start to look outside of their relationship, whether it's marriage, relationship, blah, blah, blah.
And you talk about physical needs, right? You talking about
yes.
Right, okay. Gotcha. And so this is what you're hanging your hat on. This is what you're hanging your bonnet. This is what you're hanging your shower cap on. This is what you're doing, right? For all women. So you're the voice, you're the mouthpiece for women.
I am not Steve Harvey. Hush your face.
Okay, I'm sorry. You just talking real matter of factly. That's all you're doing for us men. And I'm sick and tired of women. Like, if you don't real life stand up to pee, then please, you can't speak for a man. Like, I don't get it. And I ain't even being sexist. And I know you're supposed to go first, but I'm gonna stop. So I'm gonna let you go. But just leave me a little bit of time. And I promise you, I'm going so far in, I probably never come out.
Okay. I'll leave you there because I still have to go to work today.
You better take the first 2 hours.
That's fine. You'll be here by yourself. I'll take the mic and stuff to work.
No loyalty.
Welcome to the Love Is Podcast with your host, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and her co-host, the lovable a-hole. That's right, I said lovable, Mr. DK Walker, where they will be discussing love, relationships, family, life, sex, self-help, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because love is everything, and everything should be loved. Now to today's podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's your girls, that Thorny Chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the lovable asshole, DK Walker. DK, tell the people hello.
Nothing can stop us. We all the way up. Huh?
Lord have mercy on TikTok. Cancel it. Cancel the TikTok.
Nah. Because I just came from upstairs and it's crazy. I asked Alexa to play some Justin Timberlake.
Don't do it. Do not.
And that song came on. So, you know.
Alexa is tired of you. Alexa don't want to hear you singing any more than we do.
What? See? Somebody else didn't like my voice.
No, okay.
I am the first 50-year-old that is still going through puberty. Somebody can identify with me.
Okay. I'm happy that they can. So, what's going on new with you?
I got a tattoo.
Yeah, you did.
I got a tattoo. And soon, shout out to my man Ink Bully. You only got to cut the check. I need to holler at him too, but definitely gonna have him on this show. It's kind of crazy, right? I don't know him personally, but once I sat in his chair and he started kicking about, you know, how he grew up, where he grew up. Like, we grew up but I'm older than him. So, you know, he was a young buck, so I didn't know or recognize him. But we grew up literally in the same neighborhood, went to the same schools and the whole nine. I mean, it was so eerie because he got to talk about everybody I knew. Like, he just got to talk, like, and we just went down memory lane. And like, he was telling stories that, you know, I don't necessarily share with the missus. So she's sitting there looking like, what? Who did I marry? I don't know this guy. He's a complete stranger. I thought he was a square. So yeah. Real talk, like, she was in there stuck. Like, okay, I kind of knew you was on the crazy side of life.
She was listening to Tamia. There's a stranger in my house.
Yeah, for real. You know, so I had to hit my man with the phone off the hook. You know, like, you can't give more
pineapples.
Oh shit! There you go with the corny references. Like, really?
That's a good one.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if you say so.
You say so.
But as far as the actual tattoo itself, I got this just before Marmar's. That's Molly Jada. That's Jada. That's Molly Jada, my baby. My youngest daughter. I kept telling her I'm going to get a tattoo. You know what I mean? Something for her. And I've been saying this for like a couple of years. And I got you. And I pride myself on never lying to my daughter. I don't, you know, I may stress the truth. I may articulate the facts a little different. But I never do that when it comes to my youngest, because, like, I always want her to feel like I can go talk to my father about anything, and I can be honest with my father at all times. So that's my pride myself on keeping it a buck with her, right? So she pulled my card. She was like, "You been talking about a tattoo? You ain't got it yet." And I said, "Look," and I jumped out the window, I put my foot slam on my mouth. I gave an exact date on when I was getting. I'm gonna get it before your birthday, right? And this was 2 weeks before her birthday. I was like, okay. And keep in mind, people, I hate needles. The first time I ever got my blood drawn as a kid, I was like either 4 or 5. I'm going to go with 4 because I was relatively young. I had the flu. I was really sick, and the nurse stuck the needle in my arm, drawing blood, and I'm sitting there like I'm on somebody's ship, just waving in the window, but there was no breeze in the room. I'm just a wavering, and she just a drawing blood, and I'm looking at the blood, and I'm like, 5, 4, 3, 2, blood, and I threw up on the nurse. I've been hating. True story. I've been hating needles ever since. So. Me promising my daughter I was going to get the tat, you know what I mean? It was like, so I had to conquer a major fear or be a liar. So I was like, do I do what I said I was going to do? Cause it's my baby, you know what I mean? Or do I, you know what I mean? Yeah, tell her that, you know, I'm allergic to needles. Like, what do I do? So long story short, my wife accompanied me to hold my hand. I'm going to do the podcast people a huge favor, right? So when this episode does air, I'm going to share pictures of, because I've yet to do it, share pictures of the actual tattoo, right? I'm also going to tag my man, Ink Bullet, because he did a phenomenal job. But I'm also going to give y'all something, because I don't know where you at in your life. You may be needing something to laugh at. You may be needing something to be like, to show you that your life isn't really that bad. I'm going to share with you pictures of me getting my tattoo and videos as well. Now, if you've been listening, I think, I want to say this recent podcast, the one before, What's the Beef? You know, I told y'all that, you know, I have a bout of Bell palsy that I never recovered from. There's very few people never recover. Like a lot of people get it, you know what I mean? They make a full recovery. Unfortunately, I wasn't in that group. So with that picture being painted, I'm in the chair going through excruciating pain because I hate needles, right? And so I had seen, because I checked out my man work on his IG boy, right? And so he had this one video of this young dude and his girl was there. It was like a cute little couple, right? You know what I mean? She was, you know, big enough her man. He's sitting there in the chair, like he, you know what I mean? And so soon as the doggone tattoo artist put a doggone needle to my man he gets to yelling like a straight female. No disrespect to females, but he was quite feminine in him voicing his displeasure with needles piercing his skin. He was yelling like a straight broad. And so I told myself, no matter how painful it's going, whatever you do, don't you make a sound. Don't you. Hold. And that's what I did. Now, verbally, I said nothing. You got my word. If you can see me, right hand held high. Verbally, I never said ouch. I never tapped out. Never done none of that. Now, the faces I was making, like, so granted, I just told you I never recovered from Bell palsy. So, like, you know,
your face looks real contorted.
Contortion is not the word, young lady. My face looked like somebody just like somebody was wringing out a dish rag and refused to unball it. Like, it was just that tight. Like, I promise you, the face was so bad. My wife, because she was like, he throwing a movie for us, right? Like, he throwing Superfly. I mean, movie was like, the only thing I loved about the movie was my man had. Like, the Batman had this you know, I'm 100% man, so I got no problem complimenting anybody. The man had gorgeous hair. That's the only good thing about this doggone disappointing movie, right? But it served its purpose to distract me of the doggone pain. I was making such a ugly face. My wife just, like, I seen real live compassion for once. She said, Beck, you okay? And I couldn't say nothing. I had on slides. I had on Nike slides. I kicked my slides off. I kicked my slides off across the room.
Oh, my
My wife was like, I probably should post a video. Y'all go see me with the socks on and me just cracking my toes. So my man Ink Bully, he looks up at me. He was like, whatever you do, don't ever make that face again. He said, look, I'll stop. It's not worth
like
it.
At that point, like, just tap out. We can do this in stages, because this ain't worth
It's a small joint. It's just only on my left arm. It wasn't like, you know, he did like a sleeve, which, you know, and so it's just on my left arm. And anybody that knows me, but listen to the podcast, know that I got the most severe ass whipping behind a comic book. So, you know, I'm a huge MCU fan. Like, I was an MCU fan way before, you know, it became a movie thing. way. Like, I promise you, I've been walk miles to go get comic books when I was a kid. When we used to visit my, grandmother down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Shout out to Vietnam. So, the tattoo I got, it was in ode to my daughter, and it was pretty much paying homage, of course, to my mom, but also to, a line Tony Stark had said in the movie is "I love you 3000." You know what I mean? Of course, I can't measure, how much I love my daughter. Like, she is literally my heart, right? It's pecking order in my life. Like, people don't know. I tell them that my daughter literally saved my life, right? Because if she wouldn't have come into my life, I know me. Like, I would have settled. You would not be hearing my voice. I would give a fuck about podcasting. I would give a fuck about doing anything productive in life. I would give a fuck about changing. Like, what? It's me. I'm living for me. So I don't where I'm in the wind. Wherever the wind blows, I'm with it. Right. I had no direction, no aim, no nothing. But once God blessed me, like, I know I'm going on a rant, and, Karen, bear with me. Once God blessed me with my daughter, like, my whole life literally changed. Like, changed. I mean, just, like, I had purpose like I never had purpose before. I had direction like I've never had direction before. I had a real live reason to live, right? I tell her this all the time, but I just definitely want to share with you, like, fathers. And notice I didn't say fathers, so I'm dead ass serious. So fathers, I said that correctly for a change. Don't ask me to do it 3 times. If you have a daughter in your life, I mean, sons are cool, right? Because they're going to grow up to be, miniature us. But if you have a daughter in your life, that is the gift, the way that you love her, right? If you are complaining about women not being shit, if you're complaining about women running game, if you're complaining about women not being honest with you, if you're complaining about women, mismanaging money, if you got any complaints about women, and you have a daughter and you're not rearing her right, so when she gets of age and can date men, and then you're instructing her how to handle her business as a woman, as a strong black woman, if you have a black daughter, then you have no right to complain. You have not, because you can't complain about, what's going on in the world. You can affect change in your house. Life don't work that way. So long story short, my baby, that's my heart, crazy. Me and Nikki, before we actually found out the sex of my mom, because I wanted a son. I'm gonna tell you how God, so you can want what you want, but God can give what you need, right? I was so set on a son. I used to come home from work every day and rub my wife's stomach and hey, June. Like, I wouldn't address him nothing as nothing but June, as in Junior. I talk to him, I put my hand on the stomach, then he'd touch me, I run across the room because that's some alien shit. I'm like, it's a baby in there. And my wife like, I'm big as a damn house. Of course it's a baby in here. So I would run across the doggone room, in fear, but that was still my June. So my wife had went, and then she wasn't telling me that she was finding out the sex. And I told her, I already know it's a boy. I don't care what you tell me. I know it's going to be a boy. So the doctor told her that it was a girl. And after the doctor broke the news to her, she was like, I don't know how in the hell I'm going to tell my husband. So I'm at work. I give her a call to check on how you doing. How was your appointment? Yada, yada, yada. Boom, bop, bing. She's like, everything's fine. The baby's healthy. Delivery date is still on schedule. Got some news for you. What's that? Say goodbye to June. Got a daughter. Instantly, I was sad. Instantly, I was depressed. Instantly, I hung up the phone. I went to the bar and I sat there. I was supposed to be coming straight home. Went to the bar and I'm like, I wanted my son. Like, I wanted, like, it wasn't what I needed, right? I needed a daughter, because if I had a son, he would have moved, and I know this, right? He wouldn't have moved the needle in my life to, be who I am desperately trying to evolve to, right? So God knew what I needed, and he blessed me with a daughter. And I'm sorry, y'all, for being, long-winded. I'm just giving y'all the full scope behind the tattoo and what, she means to me, and why, I went through all that pain, balled up face and all, so I'm done. Dear.
I was gonna say you tat it up, but I don't know if that's I don't know if to welcome you to the club or not.
No, I'm going back. I seen this other joint because the very first tattoo I supposed to got was supposed to be from my father, right? Yeah. Rest in paradise, rest in wherever you at, just rest. You know what I mean? Stop bothering me late at night. I know that's you playing with the light down. I know it's you. So the very first tattoo I was supposed to be, a joint like, the words "a shoulder to cry on," and then something like with a cross, whatever, with, his initials, DK Walker. Because that's my father's name. I, taking that name, paying homage to him. So, but my daughter Trump him. So the second tattoo I'm going to get is going to be actually, I think this joint, I don't even want to tell y'all what it is. This joint is so dope. I fell in love. I promise you.
We might
So
need to Xanax you before you go.
I kind of had fun with the pain and the ugly faces, gave somebody to laugh at. Look, so the doggone tat that I seen on Pinterest of all places was a hand holding I guess roses, and in the roses is a cross, and there's a man walking inside the cross. I don't know if I described it right. Once I get that done,
then you're
that's
done.
my next tat. Say again?
I said, are you going to be done?
No, come on. Once you get done, I'm sure get the whole body done.
Right.
Besides my eyes.
Okay. I mean, that's how you want to roll in life. But it's true though. Once you get one, now my first one was like 5 inches long. So it goes from like the bottom of my shoulder to like under like where your bra strap goes. So, and that was
on your back?
One. Yeah. That was on the back of my shoulder. That was my very first one. And everyone was like, I can't believe you got like the biggest one. It's a cross. It's a very intricate cross. I got when my grandfather and my uncle passed. I got it. And then I have butterfly. No, then I got my foot done. The top of my foot, on the side of my foot, not the top of my foot. Top of my foot hurts because you have really small bones there. I got the side of my foot done. It's a Bible verse. And then I have my other shoulder blade, the other back of my shoulder rather, done. And those are butterflies. And each butterfly, the butterflies, the bodies of the butterflies are all I call them my leading ladies. So it's my 2 grandmothers and my godmother and her sister. Those are my leading ladies.
So are you going to share pictures of,
I definitely can. I definitely can. I designed all mine.
Oh, you designed it? Really though?
Yeah. So now I want another one on my collarbone. With a poker.
So is there any truth that you're getting the Love Is podcast tattooed on your forehead? Is there any truth?
No, not on my forehead. Now, child, that's a little extreme. Even though
if you're all in for the brand, I don't see why not.
You go first, and I'll go with you.
Have you seen the size of my forehead?
Yeah. You ain't got a forehead.
If I was getting Love Is tattoo on my forehead, it'd look like the letters be 3D. I'm trying to tell you that.
I mean, that's a good tattoo artist. No, I am getting one for the business on my collarbone. I figured out what it is. So I'm.
What is it?
Poker chips. They're gonna be red and black, which is our brand logo. I think I'm gonna get the actual brand in the poker chips because you know how all poker chips have brands names on them. Right. And then that's what I'm gonna get on my collarbone.
Is there gonna be some big joints or there gonna be some, you know what I mean?
They'll be medium size. I mean,
because you have to read what's inside the chip. So if you're gonna get the actual poker chip and then get the Love Is podcast logo inside of the poker chip,
I know what I'm getting. You worry about what you doing.
I just asked the question. Be
behind.
Home slice, home skillet. I just asked. You don't got to get defensive. You know what I mean? It's your body. It's your doggone threshold of pain. I mean, whatever you want to do, it's on you.
I definitely ain't cracking toes, kicking off shoes, and making.
Women got a greater threshold for pain, and on the cool, I'm straight pussy. So quiet as kept. Listen, I talk that macho man savage shit. I'm straight vagina. I am.
You're more Elizabeth. You're way more Elizabeth than macho man.
I don't. Well, carry me on your shoulder then, because since you stand up to pee, I don't care how you paint the picture, right? But when it comes to getting them, and it was okay. As long as he wasn't on the bone, because he was on my form, right? Mm-hmm. As long as he wasn't on the bone, I was cool. But as soon as he hit that bone, God, Jesus, I never prayed to God so much. Like real life, me and God had some real intimate conversations. You know what I mean? And all I can hear is laughter. All I can hear is laughter in my soul. Like, really? You praying for me and you getting a tattoo? You just is
right. The body is the temple, so that shall not be scarred. Rah. And here I am. Yeah. Moving on to me, since you haven't asked. No.
I think the last podcast we did, you took up 20 minutes talking about, you know what I mean? So.
Oh, that's how you feel.
Yes, that's how I feel. And plus time constraints. We have an actual podcast to get to. So,
Oh, okay. I'm still going to be anyway. Your girl had a birthday. If you guys didn't hear. But I forgot 2 things to share. DK, you'll love this because you live vicariously through my dating life. So I kind of, I think inadvertently shot my shot.
At Tevin Campbell again?
No, God, no. I never even shot my shot.
Can we talk?
No. First off, I would not. I would shoot my shot
for
at
a
Drake.
minute.
Let's be very clear. If I'm gonna shoot my shot, it's gonna be at Drake. Tank.
You said Tank?
Yeah.
Ain't Tank the one that says if you suck you?
Right. If I'm shooting my shot, it's gonna be Drake, Tank, somebody.
Don't stop. It's okay. It's rare that you see two doggone light skinned people together, right? And so both of y'all can't be together because y'all got light skinned tendencies. Y'all be fighting over the bathroom mirror. Both of y'all voices high pitched.
No. As much money as Drake makes, I'm sure I can have my own bathroom at this point in life.
And just because y'all have light skinned tendencies, the other person gonna be in that bathroom trying to share it.
No.
Who's cuter? Like, I'm sorry.
Me.
I digress. I'm sorry. I like Drake too. Like, he make dope music.
Listen, leave Aubrey alone. Anyway, I did kind of
look at you. You about to get an Aubrey tattoo, ain't you? On your right butt cheek. You are.
No, not on my butt cheek. I don't know. No. I kind of inadvertently shot my shot at somebody. It was on a business tip, and then he kind of slid in and was like, "So what about us?" I'm like, "Huh? Who? What?" I did my DK. What?
In disbelief.
Right. For 10 minutes, I was like, what? So there's been some talking going on. He's super, super busy. And so that's, I don't want to say it's not sitting well with me. Because, if you want a good man, you kind of got to deal with a busy man. But at the same sense, if you are the man, pursuing a woman, you kind of need to make time for her, space for her in your life. Because you say you want somebody, you trying to quote unquote manifest somebody, you dating for a purpose, rah, rah, rah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make space for them.
And all that jazz.
That jazz, yeah.
You get in when you fit in. Like, I ain't putting nobody before the dream. I have a dream.
Hush your face. Anyway, the other thing is, as far as our Instagram goes, the Love Is Podcast Instagram, we had a very interesting moment. Around my birthday, is some gentleman was liking all the posts that had me, which is a good majority of them. And then jumped into our DMs at the Love Is Podcast and asked me for my Cash App, to which I was like, let's for shits and giggles just do it. So I gave it to him, and then he said something about him being a sugar daddy, and if I was, interested. I forgot what he said my allowance was going to be. Maybe it's somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 a week. I'm like,
he's from Nigeria. He was definitely from Nigeria.
It's not, because you see the picture. So that's kind of what's been going on in girls' world. No new beauty regimens. I did have somebody call and ask me. I did the story time on Snapchat. Everybody thought it was funny. I did have somebody call me and ask me for a picture that was on my Facebook stories. And the comment that he said to me, which was kind of odd, he was like, "Hey, the picture that you put on your Facebook stories." I was like, "Yeah, what about it?" He was like, "I can't save it because you put it in your stories." I was like, "How many pictures of mine do you have saved in your phone?" He was like, "Quite a few." And I was like, okay. Now the thing is, me and him don't date, never have dated. I don't know if we'll ever date. So
I'm kind of confused. So is this a fan or somebody that you personally know?
No, this is somebody I personally know.
And so he lightweight stalking you?
Yeah.
Is it Tevin Campbell again?
No, Tevin Campbell's never.
Can we talk?
Stop with this foolishness. No.
For a minute.
No, he's not.
Just want to know your
but
name.
I did know this is the story with the picture. I did know that he made me his screensaver once upon a time. Like,
what the heck? That has officially moved beyond lightweight stalking to I'm gonna have you in the bottom of the basement as I stop feeding you so I can wear your skin. Anyway.
So wait, this is the story. So this is years ago. I took a picture with one of my girlfriends. He was talking to my girlfriend. He was into my girlfriend. He took our picture off of Facebook, saved it, screenshot it, however he did it, and was walking around my city with it as his screensaver on his phone. So when obviously, if he's looking at his phone and he goes to unlock it, it was there. So I can't remember if my best friend or somebody saw it and was like, "Why do you have my girl on your phone?" And he was like, "Oh, she took a picture with such and such. I'm after her girl." And so I really liked the picture of them. Well, those two ended up not working out. Then he kind of turned his interest towards me. And I was like, skirt. I'm not second option. I mean, the first option or not at all.
But how you gonna swerve somebody? Like you, sometimes men got to go through what's called a practice run, and sometimes the practice run that we go through, like it might be multiple girlfriends in that practice run, right? So we might not get it right the first time. We might not, and it might be a bunch of y'all, right? You know what I mean? You know. So we might not get it right the first time. We might not get it right the second time, you know. And so you looking at it like I'm the fifth option. No. I'm saving the best for last.
I don't feel that way right now. He's a cool dude, but anyway, so it's not uncommon for me to be his screensaver. He said that it was for to update his contacts. So, you know, because iPhone users, those of us who are iPhone users, most people have their own picture. So when the phone does ring, their picture pops up. Yeah, that was that. That's the day in the life of your girl.
That's some weird stalker. I mean, I'm a weird cat. You know, I mean, I get pot calling the kettle black. Well, let me not call nobody black. But that's weird, right? You know, that's kind of, it's not making no sense, because if I can have actual conversation with you and I'm digging you, I'm not going to immediately put you on a pedestal. I'm not going to idolize you, because I have like, you're not a star. And even if you were, I'm not going to, you know, put you like that's doing a little bit. And I'm not trying my best not to put judgment, but I just did. So please forgive me. But that's, you know, and I ain't even borderline stalkerish. That's like, I promise you, that's, you know, Silence of the Lambs type shit. You know, like I said, you gonna have your monkey ass down in the basement, you know, feeding you 2 peas for a month straight so your skin can get loose, and the next thing you know, 2 years later he wearing you as a dress. You gotta be careful.
Right. And in my own universe, I am a star. Thank you very much. Moving on.
You bit player.
Hey, you know. What do you tell me all the time? The sins of the father become the habits of the daughter.
Say again?
I said, what do you used to tell me all the time? The sins of the father become the habits of the daughter. Well, here we are. Don's favorite child.
It's terrible, man. You know.
Say Don's favorite child. Don's favorite child.
You know you're not his favorite. Stop.
I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not his favorite child. I'm just his least needy. That's all.
Right. So
that's
that may make you his favorite. You know,
in
he
the
has
long
a
run. It does in the long run.
Right. Because he got to open up the wallet the least. Like, she doesn't.
Exactly what
she actually wants me. She don't want no money. She wants some time, or she wants to talk, or
right.
You know.
I have to run things.
So I'm gonna give her something because she don't want nothing. And I just gave a woman a jewel. You know, you got a lot of people out here with their hands out begging. Damn hands like cups. So sometimes a person may be inclined to give you something if you just stop asking. Like they before you tell them you got a bad situation. You know, sidebar, because I know this came out of left field. Yeah, stop asking. If a person already knows that you're in a situation, you know, men are inclined to play Superman. So, you know, be quiet, you know what I mean, and get your Lois Lane on and let them save the day.
Right. And, you know, with 4 daughters, you know, there's a lot of time you got to vie with. And then, you know, one of my sisters is in South Africa. So, you know, there's a lot of competition out here on the board. So, you know, every now and then, you know, if I do ask him for something or something like that, then he goes above and beyond. But, you know, the sins of the father become the habits of the daughter. Moving on.
I pray not. Stop. I know we're on the time constraints. I really do. So we're going to definitely move it on. But I pray not. I pray that my sins, you know, skip my daughter. Like they can go and catch another generation. But yeah, I pray that saying is also wrong. Jesus.
No, I would never do anybody. I would never intentionally do anybody how my dad, you know, did his young dating life. I have way too big of a heart to really intentionally hurt somebody. And
but what
for me,
we're not gonna talk about how you did Mr. Alkaline Water. We're not gonna talk about that.
Oh, speaking of which, now that you mentioned it, he hit me up too with the hey big head. Oh, I was like,
with the hey big head line.
Yes.
Oh, ain't that cute? That's so 80s.
It's not. No, it's not. Hit me with the hey big head, and I hit him with Little Duval, living my best life.
So he went with the friendship boy, and you went with the Queen Petty girl.
Okay. My PhD in Petty came through. Sure did. But yeah, it's never my goal to cheat on someone or to hurt them like that, because you know, I've clearly seen the damage.
Just hurt my feelings all the time, but it's not your goal to hurt people. People just say, like, I tell you, no matter how beautiful the mouth is, a lie will come tumbling out if you just listen carefully.
I would say you don't count, but that's harsh.
See how you said it, but I got to read between the lines of the abuse that I take, man. I'm not, all the women in my life abuse me. If it's not my co-host, it's definitely my wife. It's not my co-host and wife. Sometimes it's my oldest. And then we ain't gonna talk about my youngest is so dismissive of me. It's not even funny. Like, peasant be gone. Like, really? This is where we at in life now. Okay, cool.
Not peasant be gone.
That's her. Sometimes that when I'm getting on her nerves, that's her demeanor. She'll look at me like, look, I done had enough of you. I don't want to talk. I don't need no motivational presentation. I don't need none of that. I just need you to get out my face. I'm 11 years old. Stop having me acting like, you know what I mean? I'm about to set the world on fire, but you are, little girl. You're about to set the world on fire.
She's like, exit stage left.
You know, it's crazy. I know we're about to move on to the, WGF, your favorite part of the show, but I'll say this when I'm gone, right? Not gone. I'm still here for the rest of the podcast. I mean, I hate to just leave you by yourself. If I left you here by yourself, you'd be talking about, your beauty regimens for the next hour and a half. But look, so I recently had a conversation with my daughter, and we was at the breakfast table. It was just me and her. Everybody else was asleep, whatever the case may be. So I told her, like, you about to turn 11. I said, so the first 10 years of your life, I've loved you like I've loved no other. Like, I really poured into, so you can't doubt that. Like, if you had to put your hand up, like, who loves you besides God? Daddy. Daddy got everybody beat because he's there with all the time. But I told her, like, the next 10 years, we're not going to necessarily see eye to eye because I'm going to demand more of you now as a kid. So you'll have what's needed for the rest of your life. Right. You like how you, Kern, is, self-sufficient. Like, you rocking out job, you rocking out car paid for, you rocking out house copped. Like, and you did that at a relatively young age. Like, you got all your ducks in order. So you don't need a man to facilitate the way that you want to live your life. You're already, living your life. No shots to Alkaline Water. Excuse me, Mr. Alkaline. Let me put some spec on his name, Mr. Alkaline Water. But you're currently living your best life without male assistance. Right. And that's why I was, talking to my youngest, like, you don't, like, I'm going to ask you, push you, prod you, make you read this, study that, write up this, and then you be like, I am so tired of my father. But once I'm gone, once I finally can rest, you're going to look back and like, I'm living my best life because he asked me to do those things. So,
Absolutely. And I had that conversation, around a couple of days ago. We were talking about all the women in our family, either are single or married, but they've all bought homes recently within let's say 5 years. And I said to my aunts, I was like, honestly, would I have liked to done it with somebody? Absolutely. But I said, there are times where I drive up in my driveway and I'm like, I did that shit by myself. So, and then, what they were saying was like, when I do get married, they were like, you will enjoy it, but you will equally have a different appreciation because you know how hard it is to do it alone. But then to share that with somebody, you'll equally have, the same great appreciation for it. And I was like, true. Very, very true.
Facts. That's what's up.
But in living my best life, my favorite part, because I haven't done it in a while, y'all. I've been deprived. We've been deprived.
Who the hell is weave?
Who is we? Me and the listeners. They turn up for the what the fuck news. Don't play me.
You and the ratchets.
Me and the ratchets.
A new segment. Me and the ratchets.
Me and the ratchets. So here we go. Dear Lord, help my petty self not to laugh all the way through. So, I like little stories here and there. And this one's another good one. I don't think anything is going to beat the cathedral at this point in my life, but
no. The cathedral was nice. I'm sorry. It was nice, but still, a couple of things I like. But I'm gonna let you go.
So this is called I watched him stick a metal rod up his penis.
If you could see my face, you would think I'm getting a tattoo. Like my face intimate, like it balled up, like it just balled. Like what?
Right.
Like if I pee too hard, I'm not talking about I got something. If I pee too hard, it hurt. Like if you take that 8, okay, I'm about to date myself, right? You drink an 8 ball, so you take an 8 ball piss. You take an 8 ball piss, like I won't stop pissing. Like
listen, pee holes I know nothing of. At least male pee holes I know nothing about. So here we go. I hooked up with this very sweet guy, but after some
sweet.
DK, mute your mic if you won't let me finish the story. We can't even get through the first line without you laughing.
But you can't paint that picture.
If he's sweet or not. Hush your face. I hooked up with this very sweet guy, but
is this story about Tevin Campbell? Is this no? It's not. Okay, I'm sorry.
Lord.
But you said a sweet guy, and then you talk about the metal joint. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But after some pretty all right sex, there's always a flag there. He started talking about what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, what?
So you somehow, if a person gives you all right sex and there's a flag, why is that? Why can't it be just it is what it is? Everybody's not gonna knock your socks off in that area.
Because if women if they're describing their sex life to somebody else and they say all right, it's clearly key that it's not really all right.
Okay, Prince had a great doggone line in one of his movies and whatnot. You know, like something along the lines that you can't expect a baby grand piano to have that much effect in the grand cathedral. Like sometimes it's not necessarily the size is where you're playing at.
I don't know. Erotic City is my favorite song, Next to a Door. So
yeah, well, you can't expect, a yardstick to do wonders in the sinkhole. I'm just saying, you can't expect a yardstick to do wonders in the sinkhole. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Listen, Cardi said
it's always man's fault. Like you got me in the Grand Canyon double parked,
and Cardi,
you got me in the Grand Canyon double parked with a doggone, double wide trailer, and you expect some satisfaction. Like what? You better do some pussy exercises. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Do me a favor. Meditate on Meg the Stallion.
I'm not. I'm over Meg.
What?
Yeah. I have short attention span. I'm gone. I'm off of Meg.
And you say I'm ADD.
No. I moved on.
Okay. Can I finish my story now?
Yeah, I'm on Ellen now. Okay, go ahead.
What?
I just want to see if you paying attention. That's it. I'm sorry.
My face look like you were getting a tattoo now.
I'm on Ellen. Real strong. Like, she might need a shoulder to cry on because she's going through a lot nowadays. I'm on Ellen real tough. But I digress. Go ahead.
I'm about to skip what the fuck news because my mind is like, I feel like a short circuiting. I feel like all sparks are about to fly out. I can't.
I had great jokes. I promise you. The alphabet community would have ran me off. Like, it is nothing personal. Like, I don't really care, but just the jokes. Anyway, go ahead.
Don't do it. All right. I hooked up with this very sweet guy, but after some pretty all right sex, he started talking about how he once had to have a catheter and how sexy it was and how much he liked it. And then he asked me if I knew what sounding was, and then pulled out a little case of sounding rods and a giant bottle of lube and asked me if I wanted to do it to him or just watched. So I watched. It was not arousing at all, but it legitimately was fascinating to see how it worked, and he seemed to really enjoy it. That was the last time that we hooked up because the idea of sticking a metal rod up a man's penis makes my genitals worried. Listen.
So, for the listeners out there was wondering why I kept interrupting you, like I knew the story was going downhill. It's kind of hard to go lower than hell, right? Like hell in a handbasket. I don't know where you're going lower than that. But as soon as it started off about the okay sex, I'm like, I promise you, we ought to go off a cliff. Not only did we go off a cliff, you know what I mean? We landed in the abyss. Keep in mind the abyss is bottomless, so we're still falling. Like I can't. Okay, me. You know what I mean? Being open-minded, understanding of a person's kink, right? I try my best never to pass judgment. And so it's not me passing judgment on the kink. It's me, the visual, and then knowing how small the pee hole is. And then you're going to put a sounding fork in your pee hole.
Not a fork. A sounding rod.
You're messing up my visual because he probably played the banjo on. I don't know what he did, but it's in your pee hole. That's worse than having the grapefruit technique and then doggone citrus get down in your pee hole. That's worse than that. You're going to put a doggone metal rod down in your pee hole. And I don't want to pass judgment, you know what I mean? But I've seen some movies and some guys have the audacity, you know, but it's their body. They have the audacity to have piercings in their penis. From the head back to the shaft. I'm like, ooh. You couldn't find nothing else to do, my brother. And the females is just as pierced as them. And I'm like, this is interesting, but who am I to judge? Right. But he had a metal rod. You said called a sounding rod, correct?
Sounding rod.
A sounding rod in his pee hole.
Yeah.
You sure we ain't talking about Tevin Campbell?
Leave Tevin Campbell alone.
I like Tevin.
I can't tell.
I'm just,
I don't know.
Can we talk?
No, not about a signing rod going in your pee hole. Nope, no. And then the thing is this that
about your pee hole.
Idiots. Just stupid. Stupid.
I'm sorry. I'm so wrong. And I probably this is probably say, oh, he's on one today. It's not so much I'm on one. It's like, honestly, okay, all jokes aside, and first of all, I apologize to my co-host because she's really, withering my interruption. So thank you so much for that. But it's just kind of like we've been had some wild ass stories on what the fuck news, like Karen, and I said the name correctly. It wasn't Karen. Karen scours the internet to find the most obscure but crazy, out of this world stories to share with y'all. She does it for two reasons. Let's be honest, right? So she does it to share with y'all for shock factor, and the other thing is to see how disgusting. Because it's harder to discuss me. I'm a disgusting guy, right? It's hard to discuss me or make me be like, I can't go that route. Like I can't even. My mind won't even wrap around the attempt. Mentally, I ain't talking about doing it physically, but my mind can't even like, okay, what you just read, I can't even. But and then somebody hear this, and they could be our biggest podcast fan. Like we probably just lost a listener because our number one listener probably is a guy that sticks, the metal rods down his pee hole, and the metal rods is 4 times bigger than the pee hole. So we probably lost our number one listener, and I apologize, sir. You can come back. I'm gonna get off my metal rod and pee hole rant. I'm not gonna talk about that no more, and I'm not gonna mention Tevin Campbell. No more. Okay. At least for 5 minutes.
Okay. Here's my thing. A catheter is medically used because you have surgery, you about to be out for a minute, for whatever reason may have you, so you don't piss on yourself and, the bed is not soiled and you're laying there, rah, rah, rah. But to ask somebody who particularly might not be a medical professional to put a metal rod in your pee hole is alarming. Okay. Like, I understand everybody got their kink. Everybody puts things in certain orifices. I get that. But, yeah, I just feel like this is going to turn to, an episode on Sex Sent Me to the ER.
You got to love that show. I promise you.
Right. I feel like you about to be, on Hulu and Netflix for all the wrong reasons.
I mean, I don't knock the, like, have you got to discover that turns you on? Then, but so this way he was, and okay, there is no real way to broach that subject to whomever. Excuse me, it's impossible. You would have been easier broaching, a threesome. You'd have been easier broaching the subject of being pegged. You've been easier broaching the subject of a lot of shit, right? It's because it's been heard of, right? So you have to be within that circle where it's acceptable. Now, I promise you, there's some people or some females out there like I'm with all that, like, and it's cool. Like you need to go find who they are and have a soundbar delight, have a clashing of the sound bars. Don't care. Like you need to go find those people, but you just can't assume, like, cause you make a big assumption, unless you have a conversation beforehand. We all make big assumptions of what our potential partners or current partners are into. Like we give them the regular off the door, right? And we may be a little freaky, a little kinky in the regular, but before that other shoe drops, before you tell them the rest of the stuff that you into, you taking a big assumption if you haven't had that conversation, right? So and then by her admission, it was average sex at best. So maybe she would have been more in tune. Maybe it would have been more enjoyable if the sex was phenomenal. She was like, that's a major kink, major turn off. He's such a weirdo, but he blows my back out every time. Where can I buy you your doggone sound bars at, or your metal rods, or your lightning rods?
Not lightning rods.
Like, so what but the sex got to be phenomenal for that to happen,
right?
So you can't get a pass on average at best sex. Like, okay, I just gave somebody something, right? So if you got a out of this world kink and you ain't dropped the other shoe to your mate and you plan on dropping that shoe, you got to make, and it's man or women, don't think I'm just talking directly to men, because when some women out here have, and they're not going to bring it up, but they'll just let it go someplace else, right? So I'm talking to both men and women. You got to make sure that, you perform in the bed at a high level. So whatever else that you bring is more acceptable, because like, I don't want to do without the bomb head, bomb ass, bomb, whatever. I want to do without that. So if you bring in, if you if you bring in, metal objects to the bed, you got to make sure that the person's like, I'm gonna look over this because the sex is out of this world.
Right. Yeah, you definitely do. Speaking of sex, so interesting meme scene as usual, per my perusing IG and whatnot. So tell me your thoughts. This is gonna get interesting real fast. Men cheat because they're horny. Women cheat because they're unhappy. True or false?
Let's see. How can I say this? I don't really want to offend anybody. I could be quite offensive at times. It's bullshit all day. Like, like that's just, you see some memes like, they hit home. Like, I'll funk with that. You get excited because like somebody talking to you, right? And some memes are just so stereotypical. So some memes just put us in a box. So before, because like as you can hear the sound of my voice, and if you listen to the podcast, okay, DK is about to get on one. Like you hearing his voice, he's about to get on his dog and what you call, man, and he's about to get on his righteous soapbox. Now, before I get on my righteous soapbox and sound like your favorite pastor's favorite pastor, I'm going to ask my co-host, my lovely co-host, my beautiful co-host, do you believe that bullshit is true?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even know why you answered. You should have been able to answer. All right, so I'll go first because I know the soapbox. You already getting your hat turned back. You about to, get the collection plate. I understand. So here's my thing. This is why I believe it's true, is that men are physical. And when their needs aren't being met physically, they start to look outside of their relationship, whether it's marriage, relationship, rah, rah, rah. And
you talking about physical needs, right? You talking about
yes.
Right, okay. Gotcha. And so this is what you're hanging your hat on. This is what you're hanging your bonnet. This is what you're hanging your shower cap on. This is what you're doing, right? For all women. So you're the voice, you're the mouthpiece for women.
I am not Steve Harvey. Hush your face.
Okay, I'm sorry. You just talking real matter of factly. That's all you're doing for us men. And I'm sick and tired of women. Like, if you don't literally real life stand up to pee, then please, you can't speak for a man. Like, I don't get it. And I ain't even being sexist. And I know you're supposed to go first, but I'm gonna stop. So I'm gonna let you go. But just leave me a little bit of time. And I promise you, I'm going so far in, I probably never come out.
Okay. I'll leave you there because I still have to go to work today.
You better take the first 2 hours.
That's fine. You'll be here by yourself. I'll take the mic and stuff to work.
No loyalty.
I do. I think that when men's needs physically aren't being met, then that's when they start stepping outside of relationships. And the reason I say that is I feel like women are a little more long suffering with relationships, that they will stay in the sex be trash. I don't even want to say trash, but the sex is not everything for them. But because they love this person and they want the relationship to thrive, then they stay. Hush. Oh, you're annoying. Today. So that's my thing. I do feel like when men, because the thing is this, we all know of situations. We've discussed it here on the podcast. We see it on Instagram. We see it on WorldStar that men, they cheat with side chicks. They have whole other lives, but they never leave the main one. Well, why? Because their physical needs are being met. They ain't got to hear the rah, rah, rah at home, whatever. They get to have sex however they want to, and then they still go back home. So I think it's true.
Nothing can stop me because I'm all the way up.
You sound like a demon trying to get out of here.
Yeah. And so you're right. A demon is clawing at my spirit. A demon is I didn't say nothing angelic. I didn't say that, right? A little demon is trying to come out because like it's sniffing that it's bullshit. Like no disrespect, but disrespectful. That was all bullshit. And it's not only you because those words came out your mouth. So bullshit. Okay. Fertilizer. Bullshit with corn in it. Bullshit that's mushy. Stank shit. Save me with the bullshit. Like, I get so, and I ain't even trying to be funny. I ain't trying to be cute. I ain't even trying to be deep. Can't be deep. I'm 5'7" and I'm fat, need to lose weight. So that means I can't wax deep, but I can wax wide. Haven't said that in a minute. Go check the old podcast. You say it a lot. I have a problem with that because that's one thing with women society. It's just as much as women hate to be painted a certain way, just as much as women hate to be pigeonholed a certain way. And then we just assume that, if a woman, she's dainty, a woman needs saving. Like women hate those stereotypes. They loathe them, right? I give you, matter of fact, boom, here we go. because I'm down the rabbit hole. Don't send the fire department. Don't send a long ass ladder. I'm gonna talk until my co-host gonna be like, I gotta go to work. Like I'll probably still be talking, right? That's how. Okay, maybe not. I'm not doing this by myself. I'm scared. Look, so recently, and I'm gonna give y'all a great example, right? So I'm minding my business and I'm really on my phone, but my wife's on her phone because she does a lot of business on her phone. So we sit in the living room, we just chilling, you know what I mean? Chilling, kicking it, acting crazy. Just I live in a crazy house. It's predominantly me. So I'm sitting chilling, on my phone, whatever the case may be. And I scroll Facebook and I see I'm tagged in something. And then it's, my co-host has tagged me in something. And she was like, because I have a tendency to say ma'am and hun, right? And so the thing that I was tagged in, and a good friend of the podcast, Dr. Cassandra Parks, says that she can't stand to be, to be addressed as hun or ma'am. Like, which is crazy, right? I think those are terms of respect, but she said she heard the condescending tone. Like, I'm not going to split apples off that. That's her call. Cool. Not a problem. Make sure when we do post this podcast that, you tag her in it so she can hear it. Right. Thank you. Appreciate that. But she's a friend to the podcast, right? And she'll be back on sooner rather than later. So long story, extremely longer. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, if women don't like, and it's crazy, like, because you assume that you're being addressed in a demeaning way, although those words that I use, which is, hun, affectionate, and then ma'am, uber respectful. So hun is just, it's not, it's not babe, because like babe is like nowadays you can be in court, you can lose your job because somebody babe, right? You borderline with hun, but ma'am, like I'm a square at work. I don't address no woman unless I say the word ma'am. You can never say, like, anybody knows me, oh, he's square. All he says, like, it's a practice with me. And then when I'm done talking to a female, I say, God bless her. Like, it kills whatever vibe. So cool. And I do that more with me than a person. And so you're wondering, what in the hell did I just say has to do with what was just said by my co-host? Here we go. I don't understand how a woman can stand on her doggone pedestal and say they hate to be addressed in an affectionate and respectful way, and they're soon to tell us that, as soon as we step outside of the relationship, it's based solely on sex, like we're fucking Neanderthals. Like, how presumptuous can a person be, right? Like, I'm not understanding, like men, like, let me help you out, women. Like, we're simple, but we're not shallow. And I'm not talking about all men, I'm talking about good men, right? So I'm going to be Steve Harvey. Yep. Usually I say I'm not Steve Harvey, can't talk about all men. Today, yes, I got a bald head. My mustache needs to be a whole lot thicker. My lips need to be a whole lot bigger. And I need a bunch of more zeros in my bank account. And I need to change Nikki's name to Marjorie. But being none of that's going to happen, I'm going to impersonate my best doggone Steve Harvey, I guess ebb and flow right about now. The problem that I had with that bullshit that came out your doggone mouth, we assume that I'm not getting none at home. I gotta go. Right. Like I'm just a physical specimen. Like that's the only thing that moves the needle in my life. Now I'm not talking about, do nothing niggas, right? I'm not talking about them because that's the way they move. I'm talking about the dudes that, like, I got family. And I understand if I gotta go left, then like there's a reaction for every cause. So you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? Do you know how many men, and I work with a rack of dudes, and we sit up and we talk about our wives, we sit up and we complain about our wives, but for the most part, to my knowledge, we all go home. Now, at least I know I go home, right? But I can guess that they go home because, like, it's crazy. When I finally caught my doggone house, I stay around a lot of coworkers, but I never knew. And so I may be at the store, I see him. And so when I go home and I'm driving, I'm like, oh, he home is and like we have routines. So I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for the men that's in my circle, men that I'm more like we may, we home. Like, so it takes a lot for us to jump out the window. But the first thing women always assuming is that, if our needs are not being taken care of, then it has to be based solely on sex. Sometimes a man steps out because, he's not being supported. Sometimes a man steps up because he's not being respected. It has nothing to do with sex. I mean, sex is a byproduct of me not being home and in the presence of another woman. But the reason that I'm there is not for sex, right? Just like the reason that Marion Barry was like in the doggone hotel room was not to smoke crack and get high. It was to get some pussy, but the bitch set him up. I just dated myself. That's way back in the gap. But I'm just saying, so like, don't tell us what our reasons are. Why don't you allow us to tell you? Why don't you pay attention to what you're not doing, what you should be doing? Instead of telling us, okay, the reason that, cause her ass fatter, she cuter, she light skinned, she's a white girl, whatever. Like, you want to tell us why we did. One of my favorite doggone movies of all doggone time is doggone Fences with Denzel Washington and Viola Davis. I hope I said her name right. Love his actress.
Viola Davis.
Right. Viola Davis, right. So he had to come home. He had to break the news. And I've been referenced before in a podcast. Let me reference it again because y'all slept on it. So let me go and wake y'all up with it. He had to come home to Viola and break the news that he didn't cheated and he had a woman out of what you call me. And so it pains my heart to see a woman cry, especially a beautiful black woman. And Viola can act her doggone black ass off. And I say it with respect. Like chocolate fine. I'm like, you hold your head up, make sure your crown don't doggone dip, you dig? So she's standing there with the tears in her eye, and he was mad. That's why you gotta love Denzel, because Denzel was mad about it. Mean Johnny. He was mad about it. He ain't come there shucking and jiving. He ain't have his hands in his pockets. He ain't have his head hung low. He made eye contact. I did what I did. I'm gonna make my bed hard. I'm gonna lie it. So he told her, like, look, I just needed to go need y'all to hear me. I don't need you to listen. No, I take it back. I'm wrong. I said it wrong. I need you to listen. I don't need you to hear me. Denzel said I had to go someplace where I can just be me. Now, of course, he had sex and had, like, I don't want you to focus on that. I want you to hear what he said. I needed to go someplace where I could just be me. Let's forget about the fact that he had a kid out of wedlock. Let's forget about the fact that he pulled a Jesse Jackson, shout out Jesse Jackson Rainbow Coalition. Let's forget about all that. Let's focus on what the first line. I don't want to peel the onion back. I know you like onions on your burger. I don't want to peel the onion back no more than that. He said I needed to go someplace where I can just be me. But out of your mouth, and not only you, Miss Rose, the Thorny Chic, all women feel that way. Like, oh, he dipped because of sometimes sometimes a man just needs to go someplace where he's truly loved, where he's truly respected, where he's truly supported. You know what I mean? Where he's not berated, where he's not always been told he's not doing this. He's not, like, we catch that shit. Like the meme we're reading, this podcast is based on a meme we see, but there's another meme that goes around. As a matter of fact, it's crazy. Denzel's in that meme too. And that meme, and I want to paraphrase it because I didn't remember it, but I'm pretty sure I get it close. It says something about being a man's peace. Like, he don't want to come home to hell, because we go out in the world today and we got to fight tooth and nail just to make it back home. Literally. Because we as black people are dying at an alarming rate. So we got to come back in the house fighting tooth and nail. It's like when we walk out the door, it's not a guarantee that we're coming back through that door. It's no guarantee. Same thing with black women too. It's no guarantee. None of us is. So with that being said, nobody wants to come back to the home, whether it be man or woman, and they're coming back home to a war zone after just leaving the front lines of a war. They don't want to do that. Nope, they don't. So, but, and I want on the man's side of the fence. So, like, you spoke for the women, and you said that the reason that men, I call bullshit, and I call bullshit with corn on it too. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's not a problem. So the men want to come walk through the door. The first thing that we don't want is a honey-do list. The first thing that we don't want to hear is you left the toilet seat up. The first thing we don't want to hear is you peed on the toilet. The first thing we don't want to hear is you forgot to take the trash out. The first thing we don't want to hear is your badass daughter. The first thing we don't want to hear is anything besides, babe, I love you. How was your day? Like, you hungry? Can I fix you something to eat? Do you need me to run you? We would like to hear that, but we don't. So you come home every day fighting tooth and nail. And 9 times out of 10, you're working at a job you fucking hate. And you walk through the motherfucking door and you like, what? But you know, nonetheless, you come home every day. Every day you walking through the door. And Denzel told her, it ain't like I went over there with the intentions of betting this woman down. I went to some place where I could just be me. Simple. Nothing to do with sex. Sex was a byproduct. That I was there, she was there, it was late night, we was drinking. Right? I went there where I could just be me. But women, y'all think that we just live for sex. We hunt sex. When we're younger, when we're not good men, what you're saying is true. I'm going to call it a buck. As the young boys say, I'm going to keep it 1,000. Wow. When we're young and our dick runs our life, what you said is true. We can still be getting our needs met and we still going to, I got to get it. It's like crack, especially when it's good. And then it's good. And then she look good. Then she do great things with the look good. Yeah, we got to have it. Like doggone Pookie and New Jack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Scotty, help me, Scotty. Like, go watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I just dated myself. Right. Calm down. Look, yes, during that time, what you said is for the most part true. But men, believe it or not, we do mature. Like, I know the bullshit, like, women mature faster than men. Yeah, okay, if you so choose to believe that, knock yourself out. Like, but we do eventually mature. We do step into the best versions of ourselves. We do make the ultimate sacrifices for our family. We do. Everything about us ain't about sex. I'm sorry to tell y'all that. I'm talking about good men. I ain't talking about, and I like to consider myself good, decent good. I'm getting there. I ain't perfect. I ain't gonna say lots. I ain't nobody. Ain't nothing perfect about me. I need a pedicure. Hopefully my doggone woman that does my pedicure can get my toes near perfection that time. But ain't nothing perfect about me. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, man, is like, you guys to stop assuming that what's between all women legs is begin all, like, stop. It's really not that important. It's not. And it doesn't move the needle in good men's life. That's being presumptuous. It ain't nothing special about it. If it was, it'd be exclusive. Every woman got one. How exclusive can it be? What you won't do, somebody else will.
Right.
After a while, you got to ask yourself, is it even worth, okay, let me get personal, right? Let me get personal. I have to ask myself every time I see something that's a possibility, is it worth it? It's not. It's not worth my wife's heart. It's not worth her tears. And it's definitely not worth my daughter looking at me less than. And you think that me and Nikki fucking, I'm 50, right? We're the remote control that. You know what I mean? Like, some nights we get it in, some, oh shit, it's been a minute. We gotta, let's you know what I mean? But, for the most part, no, it's not that. But you have to understand where you at in life. Like, it's not that. And since it's not that, let's not say it's that for all men, because it's not. Because we realize that one moment is a life killer. And I don't mean that I'm going to literally die. What I mean is the life that I've built with my family is not worth that moment. I don't care. Like, I'm being real, right? Like, if I can stave off my disappointments, my future is blindingly bright. But if I still be the same young, immature me thinking that because she looks this way, she laughing on my corny jokes, that I gotta have her. And as soon as I'm done, I realize it wasn't worth it. That I gotta go home and look my wife in the eye and be like, oh, you know what I mean? And granted, we may not be doing it. Granted, it may not be as great as it used to be. Granted, the intensity is not there. Granted that we may go upstairs with the intention, but by the time we both sit on the edge of the bed, we laughing and I'm going to sleep first because I'm old and tired. Like, those things may be all factual and all true, but I can't speak for now. Right about now, I'm not speaking to nobody. I'm speaking about myself, right? I cannot be like, is it worth it? Like, it's not. If I'm gotta be worth it. Like, my man gotta have a saying, if you're gonna fuck up, don't fuck down. And there's nothing that can equate or equal the happiness of my household, no matter how dysfunctional my household is. It's still my dysfunction. It's mine. And I'm not going to be the one to kill it. I'm not. And so, and I know I've been long-winded. I don't even know if my co-host there. She might be getting dressed for work as we speak. But there's no way, possible for me and for the good men that we base our life on sex, even when our needs are not met. Y'all got to give us more credit than that. We deeper than sex, no matter how much porn we watch.
I think when you can prioritize sex. And not like, and when I say prioritize sex, I don't want to mean, I'm not meaning, oh, we're going to have sex on this night. Not like that. But when you prioritize sex into your life, in the grand scheme of, we're raising kids, we're working on our family, we have a business, or I have my business, you have yours. Honestly, sex does not rule the day. It really I see how sex can kind of be on the bottom of the list because you are so driven during the day to be ambitious and to make your business work and do all that. But if you really are being run by sex, that is, like you said, an immaturity on your part. I posted this the other day on Instagram that y'all really do make sex like it's the end all to be all. And I'm like, there's so many entrepreneurs who are ripping and running, and traveling and things like that like sex, you think about it probably like right before you go to sleep. And that's like 2 minutes before you pass out.
If that long. Look, I wrote a book back in the gap. Yeah, I wrote a book back in the gap, right? And so when I was speaking, right, I need you really to, between the lines, I was two versions of me. I was speaking, I went on that long ass rant, spoke so doggone much, my mouth dry, got a slight headache. You know what I mean? I guess I lost in the moment. Time slipped away. Look, so shout out, baby. Look, So I wrote a book, The Ugly Side of Sex, and it spoke of the character was porn addict, sex addict. So that book is loosely based upon yours truly, DK Walker. It's available on Amazon. If you don't want to get off Amazon, you can text me. Our text number's in the show notes. I will actually send you an autographed copy of The Ugly Side of Sex. Great book. And yes, I'm biased, but it's still great. And so there was a point in time in my life that, the person that you described, or I was describing that, I had to have it. Like Pookie had to have crack. Like, man, I had to have, how it got to go down. But looking back at my life, right? And, let me be like uber honest, uber transparent, because this is what I do. So I live for. Like, this is my third marriage. Sex killed my first two marriages. Like, I'm just going, so that's why I sound like I'm mad, because I'm really fucking mad. Because, okay, cool, not a problem. So, the first time I got married, I was 17, just turning into 18. She's my supervisor, right? I was a bad boy. We're not gonna talk about how bad I was. I was just, bad boy. She's my supervisor. We got, whatever. But even though she was older than me, even when I brought her back around the way, because I was still a teenager, I was bringing a grown woman home, and all my dudes was like, we ain't seen you in years, and this is what you're doing. Yeah, that's how I'm doing. Is I get down. But it still wasn't enough to keep me married. I still had that dog in me. And I ain't talking about that dog that grind. I'm talking about that dog that like to hump. It was just getting started. Okay, cool, not a problem. And I didn't learn my lesson. So what happens is I get with my next wife, and that dog, that dog was ferocious. That dog hunted. The dog hunted like it was a doggone black main lion. So you have to understand, like, if you watch any doggone, safari documentaries, the black main lion hunts other lions. Like, it hunts. Like, it's the baddest of the bad. So anytime you see a picture and the mane is black, it kills off all the male lions and takes the felines as they own. And they kill off all the male cubs, because they're going to make sure we have the dominant race. So why am I telling you about lions? Because I'm equating the most dominant lion placed on the face of this earth to my sex drive. That's how horrific I was. Horrible. So that meme was true. Like, you could be meeting my needs, but as soon as you get finished meeting my needs, I got more needs. Look, caught the book. And I ain't even saying this. Matter of fact, caught the book. I autographed it for you. Hit me. I would sign your name and we'll talk about it. Great book. But I'm telling you how bad that was. But I didn't learn my lesson, because that's 2 times, right? Me and Steve Harvey got a lot in common. Both of us been married 3 times, if I'm mistaken, right? So, but the first time it cost me, I was young, cool, not a problem. I still had a lot of growing to do. Second time, it cost me. Cost me greatly, because that doggone drive was undeniable. Inevitable was that you couldn't do nothing with it. It was dominating my life in so many doggone aspects. It was not funny. So here I am on my third marriage. Now, the difference between this marriage and the other two, didn't have MJ, didn't have Tiana. Like I tell people, love can only get you so far. You got to work. And so as much as I love, me and Nikki don't always see eye to eye. We bump heads a lot, but she has the by far best pillow talk I've ever, when at the end of the night, when she's got her guards down and I'm tired of being an asshole, we have the best pillow talk ever. There's always better females. There's always somebody smiling. There's always somebody thinking you. It's always something better than what you, just being a buck. I'm pretty sure that she sees somebody like, oh, okay, he got a tall dude with big hands and big feet. You know what I mean? He might be, down to his knees. I'm pretty sure she see guys like that. I'm pretty sure. But for me, yeah, I see it's always something greener. The grass always greener, right? But I've learned my lesson from the first 2 times of not being mature. So that meme may have applied to the previous versions of me 2 times over. But I'll be a motherfucking monkey's uncle if it applies to me a 3rd time over. It got to come to a point in life that you, that don't move the needle no more. Because, I've done had some of the best, juice. I've done had some of the best of, but, it's only so much you can do. like, but there's certain things, non-negotiables that I'm not going to do. I don't got to get into details. I don't yuck nobody's yum. So certain non-negotiables, your boy just not going to do. But anybody else, let's talk about it. And if it sounds interesting, I'm in. But none of that stuff is worth my current life. Whether me and Nikki is making love, having sex, fucking bumping uglies every night, or we're not, it's not worth it. And a lot of good men go to bed with blue balls. A lot of good men is sexually frustrated. A lot of good men watch a lot of porn and beat the shit out their dick. And a lot of good men still don't cheat. So even when our needs are not being met, I can't co-sign that, because after a while, we believe in not women, we finally grow up. We finally say, you know what? It's just pussy. You know, and that pussy can be attached to a beautiful person. That pussy can be attached to a wonderful person. But at the end of the day, it's just pussy.
Yeah, your sex doesn't necessarily equate to your productivity. And when you get to that space, then, you know, life really does unlock for you when your, you know, genitals don't rule your actions.
Facts.
And when your genitals don't rule your actions, you've gotten to a really good place. And like I said, sex isn't necessarily, sex does not equal productivity. I will say the higher productive you are.
Unless you're a porn star.
Well, yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. Your sex doesn't equate to your productivity. I will say, can you find yourself hornier because you're productive? Absolutely. Somehow it does, you know, slip in there.
Sex is connected to the creative. The more,
the more creative you are. Yeah, because I talk about that.
I promise you, I'd be like,
about sex.
I can't even focus. Let me, you know.
And you do.
Sheesh.
But again,
holla for OnlyFans.
Oh.
Going once, going twice. Sold to the man that's trying to create.
Yeah. But again, your sex shouldn't be outranking your productivity. Your productivity will make the creative in you will, because it's all a part of who you are. When you're at your highest point of creativity, you're at your highest level of everything. So your vibrations are high. Your sexuality is a part of who you are. It is who God created you to be. God didn't mean for anybody to really be alone. Hence why, you know, the beginning of Adam and Eve.
Oh Jesus.
But
my bad. I don't even got no problem with Eve. But if I ever catch Adam ass, I'm gonna punch him directly in his throat. I'm gonna punch Adam in his Adam's apple.
Listen, many of men,
weak ass man.
Many of men in their life have eaten an apple, and some have eaten worse.
You need to walk. If you're eating worse than you, you don't be eating sushi. You don't eat the sushi. You got to smell the sushi first. You got to make sure the sushi clean.
I don't know. Many of men have eaten worse for the sake of love and the lack thereof. For love, too.
That's what they say. I love you, and then their nose hit the belly button and be like, "Damn, this ain't love. This torture."
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Right. And so you have to be.
Just say no to sushi.
No, don't say no to sushi. Just make sure it's cooked.
Then it's not sushi.
Yeah, I don't know. They deep fried. I mean, that's how probably they got black folks to eat it, because it's deep fried. I don't know.
Oh God, I'm good. I just hold me. I don't want no sushi. I just hold me. Just hold me.
But you know, when you're at your highest level of creativity, you really, really do like get it, because your sexuality is part of who you are, and nobody really should be alone. But there comes a point in your life where you have to decide what is more important. Is my productivity? Is my business? Is my dreams? Is my goals? Is my family?
Is my family? Like, can we put family in there, please?
I did. I just said that.
I'm sorry. You taking a minute?
You and your soapbox. I'm gonna burn it today. I am. I'm gonna dismantle it. But you know, is what I have, and this is the thing. Like I said in the previous podcast, is that in the comparison of joy, is what I have or what I think I want. Because you know, you said the grass is green on the other side. Doesn't mean the grass is real. It could be astroturf.
It's still green. Like, true, it might not be real, but it's still green. Like, and then you gotta understand it's sometimes like, you know what? Okay, let me go ahead and bite the Bama, because the first time I heard this about E.T., right? I don't want to come off like, oh, he said some deep shit. Like, let me give credit where credit's due. And if you hear me say something 9 times, if I know exactly where I remember hearing it or reading about it from, I'll tell you the source. I never want to say something and act like it's mine. It's not what I do, right? So E.T. said something back in the gap, and he was talking about, like, you know, there's beauty in death, right? And we talk about green grass and stuff, right? So he was talking about how the leaves change right? He was talking about how the grass leaves when the seasons start to change, and of course everything that's green takes on different hues. So it takes on, leaves start to change to yellow, orange, red. Grass sometimes, well, not sometimes, but grass eventually turns yellow, something brown, and dies, and then comes back the next season or next spring, whatever. And so you're looking at, and I'm saying to say this, so you're looking at, somebody else's grass, and you like marveling at its greenery, right? You're marveling at its greenery, and you think, "Damn, that shit lush." You stuck on the greenery, like it's lush. But I want you to really, step back. You're focusing on the greenery, but that's all you see. Is no other color there. So sometimes and what happens is that's all you get. So you're looking at it. It's all green. It's lush. But think about it. All you're getting is one thing. And I'm referencing the pussy. So you're looking into your own yard because the seasons have changed because you've been with this yard for a minute, right? So you got some green, you got some orange, you got some brown, you got some red, you got some yellow. You got life. Although life is about to die and begin anew again in the next season, you got life in your yard, but you're still too busy ogling at the greenery, which is the pussy. You stuck on one thing, and once you get done with that one thing, it's still green. It's not offering you no excitement. It's not offering you no change. It's not offering you nothing but one thing, and you stuck on the lushness of life. If you just look into your own yard and you see you got life in your yard, you see you got different colors. That means you got different experiences. That means you got different love. You got your ups and downs. You got your fights. You got your making up. You got your sitting on the couch doing nothing. You got taking naps on the couch. You got all this because you got a multitude of colors in your own yard, but you're focused on green. And then you do it. And you like, the first question you ask as soon as you speaking from experience way back in the day is, was it worth it? Because you were just focused on the greenery when you had life in your own backyard. Yeah. Man, look, we're going to cut this short. Right. That was my nugget of the day right there. You ain't got to swing it to me. Yeah, I promise you. I know you got to go to work. So that was my nugget the other day. No matter how green that grass is in your neighbor's yard, no matter how green that grass is, up the street around the corner in the cut, no matter how green that grass is on that corner popping that gum, with a thong up her ass, no matter how green that grass is, man, you better go get some color in your life and live.
Now, I'm going to end out with this. If you haven't seen Tyler Perry's Farewell.
That was great. How you going?
Farewell tour.
Jesus.
Hush your face. I
gotta get my own podcast show. This is some bullshit. I be giving my good shit and don't even know when to pull the plug. Like, that was I was hot. Like, past the collection plate, that was some great shit. Like, somebody.
Can you drink some water? Can you take a moment? Can you woosah? Thank you.
Take the food out your mouth. Watch you eat it. Don't know why I love you so.
If y'all don't know what he's desecrating, it's Holy Grail. But Tyler Perry says at the end of the farewell tour that he does with Medea is that you have to go through the seasons of life with somebody. And if you want to know if you want to really be with somebody, you have to go through the highs and lows. You have to go through, when they fall, when they get up, when they're upset, when they're sad, when they're happy, to know this is really the person for you, because life is not always going to be that honeymoon phase. You're not always going to be in, like you said, the greenery of it. It's never always going to be green. There's going to be, just as seasons change, so do people. As we evolve, we turn into somebody, we evolve into who we're supposed to be. And every level ain't for you. And you got to really decide, listen, is this who I want to be with forever and ever? And can forever and ever really hold us as I change into who I am supposed to be?
All right, y'all. So the problem what I got with what Ms. Rose just said, like, she gets the opening of the show, the what the fuck news. The audacity of her. When I tell people I just gave them the nugget and for the back door my nugget or my Love Jones, like, really? Like, I got to get my own show, man. I'm not feeling appreciated. I think I need to go look in my own yard and marvel yeah, because I'm just over here in this green shit with this woman and she going to treat me like, fertilizer.
As you spoke the whole show.
Because you took the road of, don't forget what positioning you took with the meme. You took, and I don't know if your position has changed, right? But you took the road that's true. And what I'm telling you, that speaking from a man's perspective and doing a Steve Harvey for once, like, that's not true. Like, that's not an exact. That's not.
It's not, not true for all men.
Say again.
That's not true for all men.
Yeah, and you guys understand too.
Because you still got dudes who are 50 who act like they 20.
Yeah, whatever, with a pocket full of Viagra. Look, so
Be that as it may, it's still true.
Okay, but it's not. That fits anybody. You act like women don't cheat when they horny. Like that. That's the part that kill me. Like women cheat. They can be in the best relationship ever. And they be like, I just need something extra. It ain't like it used to be, or the needs ain't it don't get hard as it used to be.
Listen, he got big hands. Listen, he got big hands, big feet, real tall, and it goes down to his knees. That's all I got.
Thinking all that shit you talking about. Look, I'm being dead as women still. So we paint the picture like just be like it's not okay. Men cheating for sex purposes is not exclusive to men only. Let's get that bullshit the fuck out of here.
Right.
No, and that's why I have a problem with the whole meme. And then women like it, comment it. Yeah, that's and I can't stand my ex. I can't stand. But you got some women that's done the exact same thing that they can't stand. That baffles me to no end. That's like what? Like first of all, we are all, before you break us down to man, woman, we're all human. That means we're subject to the same things. You can't act like a man. Like sometimes a man just may need that emotional. The sex becomes a byproduct because if I spend enough time around you enough, then that's going to, because I'm lacking here and I'm going here, but I'm not lacking because of sex. The sex could be great. How many times have dudes broke up with females that had the best sex ever, but they just sucked in all other areas of their life?
It happens. It happens a lot.
Exactly. And the same thing with women. The women be like, you know what I mean? And then flip the coin over. She could be married or she can be in the best relationship with a guy. Like he's considerate. If she comes short on anything in life, he's there. If he's not helping her with her bills, he's putting her in a position to actually make money. He's helping her to learn skills. He's doing a rack of shit for her. And she busy sipping mimosas with a girlfriend complaining that he got a doggone 4-inch dick and he barely can get it up. But he's killing it in so many other areas. And you be like, okay, so I just got to teach him to eat pussy better, or you know what I mean? I just got to teach him to do something. But like, he's a great man. But then again, if that's a okay, let me go ahead and put a bow on this and kill it, move around because you got to work. If it's a non-negotiable for either man or woman, I get it, not a problem. We can stop talking. If great sex is a non-negotiable for either man or woman, I get it. What are we talking about? I'm going to stop talking because I understand you want what you want and you're going to get what you want. And damn, I'm just talking about me and on behalf of good men. Like, come on, man. I'm going to go in my own yard. I got some doggone red leaves I need to rake up.
On behalf of good men and good women everywhere who don't cheat, this is your girl.
Such a thing. It's a good woman. I said it. I said it. Man, stand on it. Pissed me off. Men cheat because they horny. Shit. Ain't a man ain't horny. We live in a very sexual country. When isn't a man ain't horny? Anyway, go ahead, close out. You gotta go to work quickly.
This coming
Please
from
and thank you.
This is coming from the man who was bumping WAP a month ago.
I was not bumping WAP. I promise you, I've never played that in my car. Somebody pulled up. I've watched the video 50 million times, and
because of Meg.
No. I actually like the actual rap. I was watching the video, just the words, to make sure I was rapping right. That was the only reason I was watching the video.
Right. Sure you were. On behalf of good men and good women everywhere who don't cheat, this is your girl, the Thorny Chic here.
Okay, on behalf of good men and women who do cheat.
No, we're not representing you today.
Why not? So, okay, have you ever cheated? She hesitated. That's all I'm going to say.
Anyhow, this is the Love Is Podcast. It's your girl, Thorny Chic here, KK Rose. Thank you so much. Week after week, Wednesday after Wednesday, Wednesday at 7 o'clock, y'all tune in and listen to us go on and on and on and on about life and who cheats and who ain't cheating and whose grass is greener and if it's real. Y'all rock with us heavy. You guys have pushed us in such a great direction, and we're so thankful you guys are putting my voice where my feet have yet to travel. DK Walker.
What you want, man? What you want? With your cheating ass, what you want?
Tell me what you want from me. Tell a lot of people, but
that's what you was. That's the song you was singing when you was not at your man house, but you was over your boyfriend house. Anyway, people.
Since I'm single as a dollar bill, but okay.
Yeah, okay. You wasn't always single. We're gonna talk about the next podcast. We're gonna get in your business.
Okay.
You're lying to the people.
I'm not. I don't.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, people. Like what she said earlier, we appreciate it. Love y'all. We will definitely check y'all out next week.
And we out.
Peace.
This episode of the Love Is Podcast has ended. But please be sure to subscribe for more great content on sex, entrepreneurship, life, love, and how to get through the BS of it all. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring more of that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and, dare I say, the lovable a-hole, Mr. DK Walker. See you on the next podcast.